Welcome back to the channel, citizens. Today we're diving into a buyer's guide for the Starlancer TAC, the new Starlancer variant, available in live if you already previously owned it. For everyone else that's interested in it, you'll have to wait until it becomes available during Invictus. We'll be going over its features, strengths, potential weaknesses, and whether or not it's worth your hard-earned money. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what the Starlancer TAC shares in common with the Starlancer Max. First off, it has 2 remote turrets, each with 2 size 4 guns, a pilot-controlled arsenal of 4 size 4 weapons, and a healthy loadout of 16 size 3 missiles. Now we're going to go over what sets the TAC apart and earns it the attack designation. It adds 2 manned side turrets, each with 2 size 5 guns. These are mounted on the sides of the ship and can't fire forward with the rest of the arsenal. They seem primarily designed for ground support, and the limited firing arcs make them less useful in dogfights. The Starlancer Max cargo bay gets converted into a dropship layout, outfitted with 8 drop seats for quick troop deployment, but more on that in a minute because it's not all upsides. In this area as well, you also get 2 ship-mounted turrets, very similar to what the Cutlass Steel had, which you can use to help defend anyone dropping off the ship. You also get 2 Tier 3 medical beds, meaning you can heal and even respawn on board, an incredible advantage for bunker missions, assault ops, or prolonged PvE or PvP scenarios. The TAC also features a small internal hangar that allows you to store up to 2 Fury snub fighters, giving the TAC additional support in the form of 2 snub fighters, further increasing its utility and DPS. Its defensive capabilities are also upgraded with 2 size 3 shields versus the Max's single, further increasing the ship's survivability. However, on a downside, the cargo capacity drops down to a 96 SU allotment versus the Max's 224 SU, but for a combat ship, that's still enough to haul your loot out after a successful raid or mission. It can also fit a multitude of vehicles up to a Tumbril Cyclone. The TAC comes equipped with the following components: 1x size 2 life support unit, 1x size 3 power plant, 1x size 2 quantum drive, 1x size 2 jump drive, 2x size 3 shield generators, 1x size 3 cooler, 1x size 2 gravity generator, 1x quantum fuel tank, 1x hydrogen fuel tank, and 2x size 2 fuel intakes. The ship has redundancy in several systems and a lack of redundancy in the cooler, power plant, and QD. This is somewhat offset by them being larger size 3 components, giving you a larger health pool before they go down under pressure. As of this recording, which is likely to change with Invictus once it goes full release, the Starlancer TAC is currently priced at $295 war bond or $330 credit. That's on the higher end, so you got to question, is it really worth it? I've had dozens of hours with the Starlancer Max, even with just 1 shield. It held up surprisingly well during the Save Stanton event, as well as other activities like the recent Hathor event. If you got crew to man the turrets, the TAC's extra shielding and added firepower let you stay in the fight far longer than the Max ever could. The onboard medical beds alone make this ship mission ready, turning bunkers and FPS missions into a totally different experience. You can die, respawn, and keep going. It's effectively got a Cutlass Red built into the lower floor. In the interior design, surprisingly comfortable even with the TAC's increased crew size. Layout avoids the claustrophobic feelings you might expect. A large part of this is to do with the dual elevator ladder layout that was carried over from the Max. It's a big quality of life win. It's very rare you feel stuck in this ship or locked behind another player. First off, let's talk about the big one. The belly of the TAC has 0 turret coverage. Despite all of the listed firepower, there's nothing covering the underside of the ship. That means if a light fighter or turret gets under you, you're going to take damage with no way to return fire. This is a massive blind spot. Frankly, I wish CIG would remove the rear-facing size 4 turret or missile turret and instead place a 2x size 3 or 2x size 4 turret on the belly to give the ship much needed coverage, especially given that the ship's designed for ground pounding with those front 2 size 5 turrets. Another major problem that's likely to come up is that rear turret that I mentioned. Even in the Max, it saw very little action in most fights. Whenever I ran the Max, everyone dreaded being on that turret. Given that its view is blocked at the front of the ship, it's directly out of alignment with where the action actually happens most of the time. And in daily use, it feels like that crew member is just watching the fight and not a direct part of it. So just like the Max, that's one more turret that probably could have been repositioned for better use, especially given the bottom of the ship isn't covered. And even with the TAC's upgrades, it still handles just like the Max and Atmo, which is to say slow. You're not driving into bunkers with speed or precision. You'll be floating down like a whale in slow motion. You're going to be an easy target they see from a mile away. The good news is the TAC will hold up to any kind of aggression you might face relatively well. And here's something that wasn't emphasized heavily in the concept. The side ramps do not touch the ground. So when you drop troops out of that central section that used to be cargo, they're jumping out. No stepping, no rappelling, no nothing. Just dropping straight out. And once they're out, there's no way back in unless the pilot lands the ship completely and either extends the elevator or the ramp. This makes fast extractions or reboarding during combat practically impossible unless you completely land the ship. So once people start dropping, that's it. They're locked in on the ground until you can safely land and get in a position to collect them again. And while we're talking layout, I really wish we had the option to remove the drop seats and turn that middle bay into a modular hold. Something like a place to store Atlas suits, gear, or even more snub options. The current layout is functional but inflexible. The drop bay could be far more valuable with even a little bit of customization. Like I mentioned, even just removing the seats would be a huge bonus. The TAC is technically designed for up to 6 crew, but many of the ship's amenities seem to be designed for 8 players, so you will have some additional flexibility with engineering and everything coming into play here in the future. And keep in mind, just like the Redeemer and Corsair before it, the TAC is trying to do a lot. It's ripe for future balancing, so don't be surprised if some systems get toned down between now and the next 6 months after release. So in the end, is the Starlancer TAC worth adding to your fleet? If you're into bounty hunting, ship combat, FPS missions, ground events, or even piracy, then yes, it could be a fantastic addition to your fleet. But keep in mind, it has no belly protection, it has a high crew requirement, limited cargo, locked-in dropship layout with major limitations, side ramps don't let you reboard quickly. The ship is also very slow in atmosphere, and very well could be nerfed in the near future. At $330 standalone currently, which is likely to increase in the next few days, it's a big investment. Think about your day-to-day gameplay and what you actually enjoy before you buy it. And of course, remember all ships will be available in-game after a few months post-release, so if you're patient, you'll be able to earn it in-game. Based on the TAC specs and my personal experiences playing around with it over the last few hours, I feel like this will be the meta ship for any kind of ground activities, so if you're big into those, I'd highly recommend this ship. Thanks for watching this buyer's guide. Let me know your thoughts. Are you picking up a Starlancer TAC this Invictus, or are you waiting to see how it lands after rebalancing? If this video helped you out, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss any upcoming Star Citizen breakdowns, ship reviews, or update coverage. I'll see you in the verse, and whether you're hauling cargo, dropping troops, or dogfighting above Daymar, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you next time.